when we were cutting this last video, came and saved us, got us back up so we didn't completely lose the status of the video. Put down 2 more named outcasts that we needed to put down. So thank him out. Make sure he gets his wings.
Keep your eyes
And
open.
you to do
It might be
Roosevelt
nothing,
Island
but it might be
anyway.
something. Is that supposed to be helpful, Earl? Because it isn't. Shut your
And
damn
again,
mouth before I
just
shut it
running
for
this
you.
build just
Both of you
fine.
shut up.
That. Yeah? Oh, it is totally okay. Great. You are doing fine. That's the whole point. You know, I'm not one of those people. I try to help people, not. What is it some people do? I'm too old to be toxic about people. They ask me, hey, can you check out my build? I'll say, hey, I'll even, you know, you're live on YouTube, I'll call it your build, and how I would change it, or, maybe there's a unique way you do something, and you get to explain what you were thinking, when you did that. I'll say, that might work, that might not work, give you some of my insight and feedback, and who knows, that might be the day that, learn something new.
An agent needs assistance.
The cool thing about this, the proficiency system, is it's really giving, if you do it right, you want to do it, as content creators, we got to get it done as fast as possible so we can help you, the players, kind of understand how it works, what to do, what not to do. I can't get him up yet. Even I was everyday kind of guy for 2 years, 2.5 years, about the year mark, about the 9-month mark of Division 2 I started. I would watch somebody's video and I would say, why am I watching a guy with a squad score of 250 telling me what the best build is?
Let's move!
What the hell does he know?
Into the main compound from where you are.
You know what I
Get
mean?
up on the wing. You can detour around to the west along the quarantine barricade.
Oh no, that's only about 3 weeks old. That just came out. That was this latest update that's been bringing some people back, including myself. So yeah, that is brand new for the most part. Yeah. Awesome. Well, if you see me on any time, or you jump on Bear Buyers, if you look up Bear Buyers on YouTube, you're going to see yourself right now on live on YouTube. And especially I know my grandsons and other players that have had kids that play, they think it's just the cat's meow when they get to see their dad or themselves on a video, and they're like, hey, that's me,
He's coming up on a burn
and
pit. At least half a
so
dozen hostiles.
yeah,
Signal
anytime
that
you
they're
see me
expecting
on, if you subscribe to the channel, you see the channel's on. And if there's nobody in there, you want to jump in there, or you want to get your son in there so he can be on YouTube. More than happy for you guys to join. I love barbecue, lady. Yeah, but it really smarts when you pour it down your arm, like the other day when I made a bunch of barbecue and cooked a bunch of boneless pork cutlets, and I had pulled them out of the oven. I've been slow roasting them before work, and I was like, I'll take these to work, eat them at work, share them, on our, slow days, because the holiday, 4th of July holiday, I took the pan and walking into the car, and when I closed the door, I tipped the pan, and it still had all that grease in it. Probably just pulled it out of the thing, so it was probably just a tick under 200 degrees. Poured it right down my wrist, and I was very proud of myself. I toughed it out. I did not drop it. I was like, that's gonna hurt, and now it's starting to blister and peel. So
I'm working as fast as I can. Just save that piece of
yes. So you've got bigger problems than me, I'm sure, because I got about 4 or 5 inches of burn on my wrist. The thing is, I gotta watch how I put my wrist down playing the game, because it rubs right there. I can only imagine. Sorry I pushed so hard, but I had to get that guy off that stupid gun for you guys. Get up there, big boy.
Agent endorsement available.
Yeah, I tried to do that a few times this week, and just people don't stick around long enough. They get what they want done, and then they're gone. And I refuse to do that. When I call for backup, I do it so people can get their wings. You know, a lot of times I don't need backup. That last time I did, I had heroic. Well, like I say, I probably would have just done that and called it a night, but like I say, I got things I can do, and I want to make sure you get your wings. So I just give you your endorsement for my behalf as well. So. And we'll get about $1 million bonus when we get through here if you have the season pass. So if you haven't did Roosevelt yet today, that'll be 513,000 experience for challenging with 3 directives and 444,000 for the daily project. And I think it's also on a weekly project, so check that box out. So, yeah, good thing to run. Oh yeah, you're gonna blow, lady. Not in a good way. Oh yeah. Oh, she's like, oh, I'm gonna blow up. I'm taking you with me. Like, no, you're not. I got a shield and about 5 million armor at that point. Well, you really should try a version of this Kingbreaker Heartbreaker build. You're
gonna have to find a way to unseal it.
I know everybody and their brother has a version of it, but it was going to happen. It's just too good. And it was even better a month ago. It got nerfed in half, and it's still that good. That's definitely what I need. I need 1,000 people before I get paid by YouTube. I'm getting closer. Yeah, another thing I like doing for the young people is you'll have to send a message down there with your son's name, and if he let me know when he's on, and I will actually shout him out in the video. And I know my grandson just beams on that when he was over here. He got to scream, and he called somebody out, and then at work at school or something, he was like, "Hey, I called you out in my video." And then I heard the next 3 hours how much my grandson idolized the ninja. Oh no, you didn't shoot that stuff at me. Poke your head up, I dare you. Double dog dare you. Oh yeah, chicken. Nope. He's dead now.
Be careful. They're bound to be expecting you.
I'm working real hard to try to get this all 20 level proficiency. So.
What the hell was that?
A group of hostiles is moving toward a boat on the east shore.
I got 20 proficiency, as you can see if you're
Emily gets
watching the
away,
video.
finding
See
her isn't
the
going to be easy.
expertise,
Gotta stop that
20th
boat.
level.
Find a way to the shore and make sure that boat doesn't get away.
Say what? Yeah, we were playing Legendary the other day, and we got a little cocky right here. We all went right, nobody went left, and there was like 6 of them back doors on the left side. One went down, and all of them, we all started going down. Ha ha! Missed me. And turn your back to my guys behind you. Don't pay attention to me. Or pay attention to me. Oh, I hate that thing. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It went in the weeds. Yeah, but it's bad to be this close to that door, and then all 4 of you die and
What's going on with that boat?
It's like, had we made it 15 feet late further, we would have all been
Those tanks are a primary target. What about
at the
Emily?
thing, and we were all looking at each other like, nah, that's it. Yeah, we're going to take a break. That's kind of disheartening.
Serious trauma detected.
Oh, how I survived. How did I survive? Okay, this side's done.
I need assistance.
lemonade, that cool, refreshing drink. I'm caught in a trap. I can't get on that ship because it'll blow up too much, baby. It was a great movie, and that kid, if that he don't get a nod for Academy Award, that was like watching Elvis. He did a real good job. My aunt wanted to take me to 1977. I had football practice. I didn't want to miss football practice, and I would have missed, I would have been up real late to go to school the next day, because school was starting early that year, and I would have went to Elvis's last concert in Indianapolis. At the time, for a 12-year-old to think Elvis was cool, that wasn't really something that crossed my mind. I loved music, and I knew he had great hits back, when my parents were growing up, but to think of him as the king of rock and roll was not something I really thought about until the days after he died. A few weeks later. But that was his last concert, right here in Indianapolis. Don't forget those cases that's out on the boardwalk to add to your efficiency. I'll go open those for you now. A lot of people take off from here instead of going down and open them up. And with the efficiency, you just want to get as many things picked up and donated back to your White House so you can get that stuff up. Yeah, there's a weapon crate here. And then there's a gear crate here. And I got all this stuff, so I will drop you one I got here. I just picked up. You can have those 2 items. There you go. Thank you for coming and picking me up on my, nothing like dying of making my videos, so. And I got another daily out of the way, so.
Another agent has joined your group.
I still think there's a lot. Is it 1 million, 2 million a day like used to be before the glitch, kind of made the issue, and, we keep having expectations of how great this game really potentially can be, and then the devs come out with stuff that don't work. But then again, it's not unique just to this video game. Look how bad we waited 10 years for Cyberpunk, and it was almost unplayable that first month. Outriders, I liked Outriders, but I got a month into Outriders, had everything, was working great, and all of a sudden it locked me out of the system. I couldn't even get back into play it. And so I quit playing it. let's see here where we are in our build. So the Catharsis mask, we are at 19, level 19 armor, 19% extra armor on that bad boy, thanks to the proficiency system. And all we need is 3 exotics to make it 20. And so let's go to the regular part, down here to the Heartbreaker part. I know we can do some upgrading there. Just don't have the carbon fibers. Now we can give the backpack a level, I guess. Oh yeah, I'm the same way with my wrist. I can only imagine on that small area, so probably gotta wrapping it from the front of my arm around my arm is probably 5 inches and about 2 inches wide. I can't imagine having whole body sunburn. Holy shit, I've never seen somebody stand up there in that field. And let's check what we can do in our rock and roll. Or the Kingbreaker. Yeah, we can go up a level there. And another level. And another level. Oh yeah, give me a weapon with 263,000 damage per shot, doing 5 shots at the same time with another 7% on top of it. Sign me up. Okay, so when it takes you at level 1, I forget. So if you come here, your expertise is what level? So are you looking at my live feed right now? Okay. So when you're looking at the proficiency over here, it says expertise level. That's a 20. The numbers underneath that is something of something. So you have to get 200. I think maybe the first few levels are only 100. You get 100 levels, and then you become experienced level 1, and it resets. Then you get another 100 levels or 200 levels, and it goes to level 2, and then it resets. Now, the easiest and quickest way to do it, if you have the money to do it, okay, so do me a favor, look at your expertise and go down to handguns. So, Magnum 586 Magnum. Okay, so when you check in here at this counter, and you go to expertise, click A, then your pistols are right there under weapons. It's the 3rd one down, right next to specialization. Well, I can show you how to get 100 today if you have enough money. If you have enough credits. And most people that's played for a while have tons of credits because they never buy anything with it.
Anything I can do for you?
Okay, so you've not ever donated any of the things here. So those weapons that you just picked up and that I dropped for you, so you should have exclamation points here by your weapons. So you go over there, and when you look at a weapon, you'll have a number beside it up here on the upper left hand corner of each weapon. It'll say 0 or 1. If it says 1, click on it, and if it's a weapon that you don't want to save, go ahead and research, and then press X, not hold X, but just press X, and that'll donate that weapon. When you donate a weapon or named gear or exotics, which you don't want to donate exotics. I made that mistake early on. You don't want to do that, even if you got a ton of extras. Okay, you want to break those down. You're going to need those components when you get up to the higher levels. That's more important than donating. So what you can do is you can donate a weapon. Your weapons, your named gear are going to go up 1/2 of a level. So 44,000 points for donating one weapon. And you're going to go up real fast, just collecting everything you get out there, bring it here, drop it off, and don't give it back to them. Now, when you do your brand sets and your gear sets, and you donate to it, you're only going to get 1/10 of a level for each donation. So it's going to take 10 items to go up just one level. It takes 10 levels to level that up to proficient. Again, if you look over here at the feed, you'll see all these stars on there. Okay, that means everything's proficient. You can also see over here at the side that I got all but 3 items proficient. 340 items of 343. That's just because I've ground on this for 5-6 hours a day on the average for the last 3 weeks to make this happen. Because again, to be a good content creator, I need to get out there and teach you guys what to do, what not to do, so when you come to my channel, I can actually say, hey, this is a good way to do it, this is not a good way to do it. So the other way to utilize your proficiency is just use the weapon. So you use your gear set. Now if you use like so say you're running what I got right now, say you're running the Elvis build, you're going to go up 4 times as fast with the Heartbreaker than anything else because you got 4 Heartbreaker on, right? So you're going to go through, say, maybe 4 or 5 missions like we just did, and you're probably going to be proficient at Heartbreaker that quick just by using it. And then if you pick up a piece along the way, come back here and donate it, because that's 8,800 experience right there. So it helps. But here's a real quick way. When you look at your inventory, when you go to your regular page and then you hit inventory, over here down here by the your first skill, off to the left there is a little like crypto sign. Those are your credits. How many credits do you have on your account right now? 401,000 points. So you're going to be able to maybe go up a level. So right here by doing this. So come over here to the vendor. Donate what you got there, the weapons and stuff. And then once you're done, come to the vendor. So look at the Magnum. The Magnum handgun. It's the fourth gun down. Now you can do the Glory Days, the MP7, the ACR, the 586 Magnum handgun. To level up, you need 20 of these. So see if you can buy 20 586 Magnum handguns. Because you've donated none yet, go ahead and buy 20 of these. Now you could buy one of each one of these weapons and use it until you're totally proficient at it. Okay? I think that's what the devs had in mind. It's going to make people use the different weapons in the game, and it's going to make them use, instead of using following the advice of the galactically stupid like me or Kamikaze Von Doom and all of us content creators, and say, hey, this is the weapon you should use. Nobody uses the other weapons, right? So this is a way to make everybody kind of use their own weapons, all the weapons, and go, hey, the P90, I like the P90 better than what Bear Buyer says about the other SMG. Yeah, the Lady Death's great, but I really like the feel of the M97 or whatever. Now come and donate those 20 items, and you'll be proficient at that one weapon, and you'll notice you'll be 10 of whatever the first is it 100 for the first level? I think it was for the first 5 levels. I think it's 10 or 100. It'll eventually go, for the most part, it'll eventually get to where you have to go 200 levels to go up one efficiency level. Then in the last 5, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, you only need 140. But it gets harder then, because there's, you got stuff that's already completed, stuff that's already done, and any chance you get to get a named item to use, you should be using your named items, your exotic items right now, as much as you can, so you can level those up naturally from your just playing the game, because it's harder to find those weapons. The other thing you can do is you can find resources, and you can come here and craft weapons that you might be able to donate. And remember, you got more vendors that sell different guns. You got a vendor back here in your clan that you can buy different things in. So like the clan vendor this week is the new reliable is the name gun, but again, it's 15,000 credits a gun. It's got the M Military 9 pistol. That's only 5,660 credits per gun. The tactical M16 is on sale back here, but it's 8,489 each time you buy a gun. So you times that by 10, that's 84,000, and then double that, that's about 170,000 credits you're going to have to spend to get 0 to perfect on that gun. And they also have another pistol, the 93R. So just doing the pistols, you could have 30 levels done that quick if you have the credits. And awesome. And like I say, come back to your vendors. You also got a vendor outside. You got a vendor over there at the theater. And then you have, don't forget your vendors in New York. And the vendors in New York have different things in here. So potentially you have about 20 different weapons that you can buy each week just from the vendors. And so far, I don't think they've repeated. So in the last 3 weeks, I probably went up 120 levels just from buying stuff from the vendors and then going out and collecting everything else in the world. But that's why you never pass over a box. Any chance to pick up an orange book bag that drops, so the orange book bags, the yellow tool boxes, and the black boxes on the ground drop certain items, and you're going to need certain resources, and you're going to need those resources to upgrade your equipment. Like the guns are going to use a lot of steel, a lot of titanium, which is the blue stuff. Your upgrading your armor, your articles that you wear, that's going to require polycarb and carbon fiber. Now, once you get up further levels, you for the first 5 levels, you're going to need polycarb, carbonate, and then of course components from breaking down other components. So breaking the stuff down before, giving you weapon components and armor components aren't a bad thing. But the good thing is you get items you've already been proficient, and you can break those down and you'll start getting that kind of stuff. The other thing is, the big advantage I have is I have all 4 characters, and all 4 of them have been through New York. So when I gain a level on any character, I get those tokens, and because my watch score is over 1,000, every one of them is going to go to a scavenger token. So I can use those scavenger tokens to buy different parts that I need to do that. So when I go up 1 level, each one of those characters are getting a scavenger token. So if you only have 1 level of 1 character and I have 4, you can see we both go up the same level. You get 1 scavenger token, I get 4. So it's really key. You make a new character, you boost instantly to 30 level. You go to the vendor at the White House, you say, hey, I want to make all my characters interact with each other and share a resource. Then you go to New York and you get a friend like me that runs you through New York in about 2.5, 3 hours. Okay, I got it down to where we can consistently do that. And then once you get the 40th level in New York, you throw your best build on. You go beat Keener again. And he gives you the speech as, agent, you don't know what you're doing. I was like, hey, I've already killed you 100 times. So yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm getting my watch, buddy. And then once you make your 2nd, 3rd, 4th character, your watch score is going to be the same as it is on your main. So, like, your watch score right now is 99. So, the importance of making 4 other characters would be every time you go up a level, each guy's going to get to put something else on his watch. So right now you're at the point where you're only going to get a scavenger token every 5 levels, because the first level is going to get an attack, the 2nd level is going to get a defense, the 3rd level is going to get a utility, and the 4th level is going to get the other. And then the 5th one will get a scavenger token. Then it'll start all over again until you get to 1,000. The other thing about that on your watch score is, as you progress, you're making your character better just from your watch, because your watch score has potentially a bonus of, what is that? 10% weapon damage when you have it maxed, and 20% headshot damage built in, 10% extra crit chance, and 20% crit damage, just for having that whole thing maxed out. And then on the defensive side, You got all this stuff over there. You got an extra 10% health. You got an extra 10% armor. You got an extra 10% explosive resistance. You got an extra 10% hazard protection. Where at 99, you only have 1/10 of that. So you have 1% extra hazard protection. So you right off the bat. And your utility, I think it's skill damage, skill repair, skill haste, and skill duration. And then the other stuff is handling, which is accuracy, stability, ammo capacity, reload speed. So if you compared your build to what, you build your build, and right now if you build the same build I have, you're not going to get the same results that I get out of mine because your watch level. But I can teach you how to run your watch level, and one of the big ways I do it is I make sure I get all my dailies done every day, because all those little things add up. Those shade requests, and especially like doing the Roosevelt Island, if you bought the season pass, that was $1 million bonus. That's an automatic level and then some. By the time you add all the headshots and all the other stuff in there, it could easily be two or three levels running through something like a Roosevelt Island project. And a lot of people run solo. You make much more, the people that are running 4 people in a group and running through those missions, it generates more people to shoot. Okay? So you're all shooting it. It doesn't matter if I shoot it or you shoot it, we all get the same credit. That's the cool thing about this game. It's not, okay, the one guy goes in there and does 100 kills, he's going to get more experience than me. Nope, you're a team. So you're getting all the experience. But because you were a team, you have more people to shoot and kill to make it more challenging for 4 people versus 1. But you're getting that much more experience. You're getting all that headshot, you're getting all that, the kills, and you're getting a lot more experience. Plus, you're getting a lot more loot because there's more NPCs to kill and to die. And if you got a team like I'm running and I know you need help, I'm just going to take my stuff and say, here it is. I'll drop it. Because you can share as long as they were in your group when you got it. And it's not been an hour after you got that item. After an hour, you can no longer share it with anybody. Right. So you just go up to the person and say, here, you can have that, like I did out there in the island. And if I would have known that much earlier in the thing, and how I deal with, if you're in my clan or you're a member of my page and you want to help or run, I'm going to help you out. Because, you're helping me out by being a subscribing member and a supporter. And hopefully telling other people, about, the channel and how I really enjoy helping out people. It's not about the paycheck from YouTube. For one, I don't have enough people to get a paycheck from YouTube. And hopefully I'll never be that guy that, I'm too big to help out anybody. No, I may be too big to help out everybody. If you have enough, you got 20, 30,000 people, obviously you can't help out individually 20,000 people every day. You can on the videos, they can see the video, but individually you're only going to be able to help out, 10, 15 people a day. You're going to be working intimately with just a few people. But that's what's kept the game refreshing to me. Other people say it's the same old thing. Well, I teach people every day if they want to learn. And not only do I teach them about the game, I teach them about real history of the game that I remember, or being stationed in DC for 4 years, or being in the military, or my crazy thing, or some it just, I like teaching, I like giving knowledge, and as I do, I also get other people teaching me things. Well, Bear, did you ever think about this? Well, I don't know. That's a good question. Or, I didn't know anything about that. And then now I know to teach it to the next person. So. Yeah, it's only been a few weeks, and like I say, if you go back, and a lot of them are labeled, and you can actually hear me talk. You can't hear the other person, like you won't be able to hear your own voice on YouTube. Now I can eventually get that if I got regular people, like channel supporters or something, and they want to be heard and they want to be part of the video. I can figure out how to do that. But right now, YouTube, what they do is they don't, the party chat doesn't come across there. Now I could probably stream on Twitch and record it with my Elgato for YouTube, and then make it a video and put it on YouTube. And I think that's how Kamikaze does his, with his live action after he edits it down. And you can hear the people interact with him because he's streaming on Twitch, and Twitch has the whole party on there. Once the person says, yeah, I want to include my voice, or no, I don't. I think what Twitch does is send a message to that Twitch guy. You want your voice to be heard on his stream. Yeah. But the YouTube, so you're a Twitch guy? Okay. But when you do, you let me know, and I'll definitely support your channel. You support me, I definitely support you. I know those stupid social media guys, they don't like tit for tat, but I think that's the way it should be. In fact, we should all support each other. We got 1,000 content creators that do Division 2. If we all supported each other, we'd all be monetized. And well, that's awesome, and I would help you out even if I didn't support you. But I've told myself that if I got a supporter and he wants any help, he gets help before somebody that's a non-supporter. But yeah, just when you run up on the videos or watch the videos, just say, hey, you're Eternal, 8R1, and I ran with you on the Elvis video, the Elvis build video, and my son's this, and I'll make note of it, and when I see you on, I'll say, hey, this is so and so. Give a shout out, because they can hear my voice right now talking to you. And definitely, I like helping the newer generation come up, inspiring them because it's a really big thing when they get good praise. And they should get praise from their coaches, not for just participating, but my grandson showed me his trophy, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. You get that for being second place in the league? He goes, nope, I got that. And my son says, participation trophy. And I'm like, I just rolled my eyes, and it was like, shrugged his, like, yeah, I know it, right, Dad? And I'm like, no. I got 3 trophies in my life. I've got 4 plaques from the Air Force. I got a huge plaque right there on the wall, Sportsman of the Year, AFDW, for 1989. I was the top dog in the whole command. That one I'm pretty proud of. State championship in chess when I was, even though it was the lowest rating thing, I think 91, I finally talked my dad into let me, or playing with him and my son in the state championship. And of course I had to beat one of my sons to one of the games to get, you know, the wins to be the champion, you know, or 7 people in their division. So it really wasn't that big. And then the other one is just a certificate, which is the state poker champion. I don't have no trophies for participation, or I would have a wall full. It don't mean nothing. That's right, but you probably have a Letterman's jacket. Hey Delta, how's Iowa? No, we're just talking. You're live on, or I'm live on YouTube. I was talking about, I got a new member here and telling him about the new proficiency system. I just hit 20th level yesterday on proficiency already. Said what? Where you been? Oh, I thought maybe you went to summer camp or something. I was at summer camp at 50. I was on staff. Come on now. You can always work there. You can always do, I mean, they got camp for more than Boy Scouts, even though that's not even Boy Scouts anymore. That's a totally another story. Yeah, now they've turned their back on God. I was like, oh my Lord. Oh, congratulations for so did you go down into the old gaslit part of Bourbon Street? Okay, so when I got introduced, so when I was stationed in Biloxi in the 90s, our owner owned their biggest bar that I worked at part-time. I worked in a country bar there in Biloxi, or Gulfport, that was called Rodeo Nights. And it was a country bar, you know. And I DJ'd sometimes and bounced other times, and, you know, was on the country dance team there. So when Christmas came around, we had a big Christmas party for all the bar staff and, you know, people that were involved in management. Went to Oz. So nobody told us what Oz was. So as me and my running buddy, being on the dance team and being a bouncer there at the bar too, we're going to Oz, and we're going with our head bartender. And he goes, nobody told you what Oz is, did they? I'm like, no, it's just like the biggest bar. He said the 2 owners of our 20 bars that we're associated with are gay. And I'm like, okay, that sounds kind of funny that a redneck country bar is owned by 2 gay guys, but hey, I'm okay, non-judgmental. He said, and they're basically the only bar that gets improved every moment with all the profits is Oz. I said, well, it's on Bourbon Street. It's got to be $1 million bar. He goes, it's probably worth $5 million. I said, well, it's got to be a hell of a
Another
bar.
agent
We're going to have fun
in your
tonight.
group.
He goes, you might not have fun at all. It's in the gay quarter. And I'm like, we're going to a gay bar tonight? And he said, yeah. And you boys are going to be, you guys probably won't even have to buy a drink all night long. And I'm like, that ain't going to mean that anybody, no, but they're going to try like hell because you're clearly not gay. And I'm like, oh, this is, and sure enough, we had a blast, but, you know, we had to tell some other guys that we just didn't go that way. But they asked where they could drink cheap, if that is the cheapest, you know. And that's a something right out of
in your group.
one of the what was the Citizens on Patrol? What was that with McTaggart and the Police Academy? I remember they sent the two guys to the gay bar all the time. Oh wow. But what I'm saying is, had I not had a guide, a local guide, that Bourbon Street, once it goes from the real light part, once it goes, looks like the old oil lamps, that's the gay quarter on that same street. Bourbon Street, as you go east, as soon as it goes into those old lamp shades, you know, they're not gas lit, but they're vintage. That the vintage part of Bourbon Street is the gay quarter. And the first person I seen walking down the street, my running buddy wanted to cross the street after, and the bartender kind of nudged him. He goes, "You like that one, do you?" He goes, "Yeah." He said, "What do you think, Trace?" And I was like, "Looks kind of like Christy Brinkley, and I've always been in love with Christy Brinkley." He goes, "That right there is the best cross-dresser in America." And he goes, I said, "What?" He goes, "That's a dude." I was like, "No way." She got one of those dresses that when you take it off, it probably is about 2 inches tall, right? It just stretches that far, and it barely covers everything. I'm like, no. I would see something there. And he goes, "Nope. You got it in the right places at the right direction." And yeah, there's no way. That waist is like 17 inches. 5'4". Yeah, he makes one hell of a woman, don't he? I'm like, he? He was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hate this shit. I'm not doing nothing tonight. And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm not looking at anyone tonight if I can't tell who's a dude and who ain't a dude." Because there's no way that I would have known that that was a
Another
dude.
agent has joined your group.
It's funny. No. Yeah, and what happens when it is the love of your future love of your life, and
An
you reach
agent
down there,
has
it's just
left
like,
your group.
no, that ain't gonna happen. This girl didn't have this guy did not have an Adam's apple either. I mean, he looked like Christy Brinkley. Awesome. Well, okay. Well, if you're up tomorrow and you see the stream is live, you know I'm on. Jump on. We'll work on your proficiency. I'll drop you what I can. Okie dokie. Oh yeah, he'll love that. Tell him to what. Don't tell him what you're doing. Tell him tell me through the chat or whatever, and then throw it up on the thing, and then when he pops up on the TV, and I'll put the camera, the little spindle camera, I'll give a close up of his character's face and stuff. I'll be like his own little personal photographer for a minute, and then tell him to look at the camera and like, hey, that's your character. What? Your character's on TV? You're on TV.
Area entered.
He'll freak out. I bet he starts running through the house telling all his siblings, telling his mom, hey, I'm on the TV. There you go. Okay, you're more welcome. That's what I love to do.
Agent in need of backup.
You too. So what's going on, Delta? You gotta figure out a way to do what? Optimize? The last 3 weeks, I've been grinding my ass off to get this 20th level proficiency. Before that, this last year, I haven't been on very much since that truck accident back last May. And I switched jobs, and about the same, it wasn't long after that, me and Terry, we were kind of estranged, and then we had run in with our church because she would
Safe area detected.
calling out our classmate that kind of took over the church after the elders died and kind of made it his own thing, and she called him out enough on it that he basically got us, me and her, both banned from church. She kept using my name as well, and I was like, I don't care. If he don't want to utilize me at church, that's on him. She goes, it's not fair. You were the associate pastor, and you were preaching when he wasn't there, and now he don't even want you to do anything. I'm like, I don't care. That's on him. You'll have to answer to that. Well, that's not right. You're a male. You need to be doing the right thing and you need to be participating, and
Seem a little down.
she just would not let it go.
Something's on your
And
mind.
It's none of your business.
then by November, she just got to the point where
Because it affects me when you're
she
moving
was
around
like,
this.
You wanna
I'm not gonna text you ever again, and
thinking
she
I
hasn't.
chose wrong. That
She
I'm in the
don't
wrong
answer her
place
phone,
doing the
she
wrong
don't text.
things.
Totally ghosted.
Being here in DC instead of being home with my family.
I know the feeling.
So it's been
Everybody
a
does.
depressing
I'm not sure
year,
this is the right
you know.
choice, but it isn't
The
the
pay
wrong.
cut of
And that counts for
just
something.
being a
That might be the least stupid
dispatcher
thing
instead of
I've
being a truck
Have
driver.
my moments.
It's
I'm about ready to, after a year, to get back in the truck, and if I can find somebody that'll hire me, or
Identified.
get my company to convince them to, hey, I drove for you for 4 years without any incident. I didn't have the truck accident with you. I did 15 years. It was my first accident. And you guys are going to tell me that I can't drive for 3 years? Come on now. You guys need drivers more than that, and I'm better than at least 50% of these guys that don't know the basics. And most of these people don't know what I know by working in here, so I'll be one of your best truck drivers. All you gotta do is put me in a truck. Because it was about a $20,000 pay cut to go for the truck back in. I was making about 65 as a truck driver, and I'm only making 46 as a dispatcher. Plus, they had some cute little girl that's only like 23 years old. She was a temporary a month and a half ago, and now she's already a driver manager. I'm not even a driver manager. And I got 20 years of logistics experience, and I've been a driver for 15 years. Well, we had to replace her, and you're our night shift guy, and we don't want to lose you on night shift. So you're just going to condemn me to a dead end job? Okay, yeah, that was the final straw. That was like, okay, I need to do something else. But through all that, I would come home. It's an hour drive to work, an hour drive back home. I would put in a lot of overtime to help out where I could when half the people at work were sick with COVID and all the other stuff. And it just, I'd come home and the only thing I really wanted to do was sleep, which was one of the things that the girlfriend couldn't believe. She thought I had somebody on the side or didn't care about her, and I'm like, no, my health is not where it should be. I just am run down all the time. And
Eat this!
get old. Not a spring chicken anymore. Year and a month. So, I drove a truck for 15 years. You're gonna have to speak a little louder. I'm fighting one of the drones. No, it's not crazy. If you knew my boss, you'd know. She's blonde, cute. He's single. She's got a boyfriend. She's got a fiance, but I don't think that's something. But I don't know. He says don't put too much into it. And they say, well, you didn't apply for the job. I was like, I didn't even know. By the time I knew there was going to be a job opening, you had already filled it. Plus the other thing, she probably makes less than I do, even though she's a DM, driver manager. Say what?
Get this asshole!
You gonna have any kids anytime soon? So,
Hostile control point nearby.
last time I heard, you got laid off at the car wash. So, what are you doing now? You had to do what to be able to work with him? Oh, okay.
Civilians in distress.
There's your ammo.
Oh, that's right. I'm running around in the whole world.
Electronic device detected.
So have you played around with the proficiency system or anything since it came out? Yeah, right now it's just the system. If to do it effectively, you just have to use a lot of different items and a lot of different builds. I'm going to try to make a lot of videos on the different builds I use to gear up stuff, but the biggest thing was, you know, if you donate 100 Murakami, you're going to be proficient in Murakami. So go up, pick up 100 things and donate it, you know. Donate 20 weapons you're proficient at. When once you become proficient in something, if you get a bunch of stuff after that, you break that stuff down to its component levels, and then that's what you use to upgrade your stuff.
Civilians in danger.
Why is that? Who'd you lose in your family? Well, us grandparents and great grandparents are getting old, so. Well, my dad's still around. He's 7. My mom and dad will be 77 this year. Well, I'm 57, so, you know, my parents have got to be, if they're still alive, got to be up there. I'll play some PUBG here in a minute after I get this done and break down and get this build up. Have you played that lately? Yeah, they have a mode they started a few months ago called Casual, and basically it's basically 3 teams of adults are real players versus 88
Civilians in distress.
bots. So the bots can still kill you because they get a shotgun. You turn around the corner, there's a bot standing there. You get a shotgun to your face, you're done. Now the good thing is the bot won't finish you off. The bot will leave you there. So if you got a team that comes by and shoots the bot, or the bot walks off and they come save you, you're okay. You know. But yeah, it's a fun game mode. But you only get to play that 3 times a day, so. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. This is the 4th of July, huh? Well, it might not be quite the 4th at your place. Is it 11 o'clock there? Oh, so it is the 4th. Yeah, Indiana's still East Coast. It was kind of split state. I guess there is still part of it closer to Chicago's Central Time. Up there closer to Chicago. Say what? The economy? Yeah, gasoline has dropped 20-30 cents in the last few weeks. It was up as high as like 5.15. That really sucked when I'm driving 100 miles a day on an all-wheel drive vehicle. Yeah, diesel's a lot more expensive. You gotta remember, there's still deliveries are made every day, so the demand usually does not go down for diesel. Oh, I bet. I'd hate to be trying to sell a diesel vehicle at this point. Say what? The one what? Where did you go? What's that? Pocatella? Well, it's because, you know, I had a guy from England who was trying to tell me that, well, you know, all the stuff in all the cities and things are like New York and this place and that place, and I'm like, no, there's come to the Midwest, you know, Winnemac and Cincinnati and Potomac. Those are all Indian names, you know. You go up by Alaska, a lot of stuff is Inuit Indian. You go up Seattle, Tacoma area, you're going to get, I don't even know how to pronounce that Indian name of the tribes that are up there. That would just murder it. I said, and then you got other settlements that were German settlements, so they're named after German towns. So to think that all the towns in America are named after cities or use British names is incorrect. You hate what? Oh, yeah. Well, your neck of the woods has, well, you know, one of the big firefighting schools of all time, you know, with there by the lake. Same, that's the same, what do you call that? El Chicote or whatever, however you pronounce that huge lake. Say what? The huge lake is up on the border of Idaho and Washington State. Big schools right there. Oh, let me. I mean, it's almost a sea. It's huge. Right, but you got people that deploy out of Idaho that fight fires all over the Rockies. Did you ever watch a movie called Always? It was filmed out there. I think it was a Spielberg movie. It had John Goodwin in it, and the guy that played the romantic lead in it, it had Richard Dreyfuss. Richard Dreyfuss played a ghost. He got killed early in the movie, and he basically plays a ghost, and then his love interest is it Melissa? It wasn't Melissa Tomei. It's or maybe it was. Yeah, it was Melissa Tomei. No. Holly Hunter. Holly Hunter is the lead in that movie. And he wonders why he's being the angel for the pilot that's in love with his ex-girlfriend, when in reality he is actually there to teach her how to be the pilot, the greatest pilot, and he's oblivious to it until the very end, until she steals a plane and goes fights a fire and basically saves the guys, but she ends up crashing into the lake. Movie's called Always. Oh yeah, they're especially horror movies. But the ex-girlfriend loves her horror movies, so I tried to endure most of them, but most of the time I would get close to fall asleep, and that just pissed her off even more. So. Say what? What lady? So you're not going to see your girlfriend for another year? I don't know where that is. I know where Pocatello is. I know where Boise is. I know where. My biggest area that I know about Boise was out there at the airport, because we had a terminal out there. I drove for Gordon. Had a maintenance facility, a pretty big lot out there by the airport. Had a place I could do a laundry, and there the terminal had a laundry, place to do laundry, and little kitchenette, and comfortable seating for about 8 people, and so it was a nice hangout for an evening. Chance to get out of the truck a little bit. Yeah, I tried to start an NGO. Need to work on that again, and try to get people over here away from all the refugees. And Biden said he was going to bring 100,000 people over here. Say what? No, in the United States. He's brought maybe 1,000, but I was already working on an NGO to bring people, because Grissom Air Force Base shut down years ago, and a lot of the buildings have been tore down and stuff, so there's a lot of land they're just waiting to be used, and it'd be really easy to land a plane full of refugees. And I guess when I went to the congressman, I went through my local mayor and stuff, so I didn't, the last thing I needed was to have a fight politically on my hand and say, I don't want that in my county. So I went to the mayor first and said, hey, will you have any problem with this if I step forward? Nope. In fact, I've already told the governor, here's the number you need to call, and here's this, here's that, and I called senators, and all that. I think that's a great idea. And you think any of them would follow back up after a few months? Nope. It sounded like they used some of the ideas that I had for mine to say, oh, this is what we need to do, and things like it, but to actually get anything done with my NGO or nonprofit I haven't had any steps at that point. I've had Jim Irsay of the Colts, that owns the NFL Colts, make a commitment through friends and through the mayor that if it gets so much, then he will possibly donate up to $1 million to the account. But to build something like an orphanage would cost me somewhere in the neighborhood of about $12 million. Well, you're not going to do anything half-ass. So, it was shut down. It was one of the bases that gets shut down in the late 90s. Early 90s. It's still an active base. We still fly as many missions as we did as an active duty base, but the reserve part of the base is much smaller. So they sold off the base housing, and you got low rent people, but the old billet for like visiting quarters they've knocked all the windows out of that. The roof's almost ready to cave in. I mean, it's really sad. The swimming pool at one time was the largest swimming pool in the world because when the Navy owned Grissom, when it was Bunker Hill, that was a training base for the Navy pilots. In fact, back in World War II, Ted Williams was actually stationed out there. That's where he took his flight school during World War II, was at Grissom. And I just recently found out he had a ball out of one of our baseball fields here at Logansport, knocked it clear into the road. It's 2 blocks away. Bounced it down the road between the houses, put it clear out on Market Street, or out on High Street. That's probably 600 yards. Lucky he didn't knock somebody's window out. Not that they probably would have cared. It's Ted Williams. Which branch? He's gonna go to what? Lineman school? Yeah, they tried to get me to be a lineman, make me climb 55-foot poles in basic to see if I was like, you gotta fear heights. I'm like, yeah, I gotta respect of heights. And we're like, no, you gotta fear heights. I'm like, okay. I didn't want to be a lineman to begin with. Well, one of my teachers had her son take a job as a lineman. He had an accident where he lost his balance or something at the top and got some slack, and he slid down the pole, hugged the pole to keep himself from really getting really boogered up, but he got splinters everywhere sliding down the wood pole. I'm like, they were taking splinters out, in chunks. I'm like, no, that doesn't sound fun at all. She goes, whatever you do, don't do that. So I get the basic training. We want you to climb this pole, see if we want to put you in, be an electrical lineman. I'm like, no, I don't really want to do that.
I still get to sit down. My back is killing me.
What is that? Why would you want to do that? Yeah, I haven't done it yet. I mean, I've ran out there and played round once, but to actually run it and do it the correct way and the drops, I have not. I told myself I was going to get a build together, get it all perfect, and then start doing it. I'm getting real close to it. I'm getting really close to ready to run out there to get that done. So, I mean, I think this build can hold its own out there for sure. Okay.
Really find time to clean and oil these tools.
Uh-huh.
Don't want them to get rusty.
Oh, that's not cool. I heard a lot of that kind of shit was going on.
Agent in need of backup.
What are the points used for? Huh? Okay. Oh yeah, down there at the bottom. Yeah, okay. I got you. Uh-huh.
I really wish I had a complete set of socket wrenches. You never find the 5/16 when you need it.
Say what? I'm on Division right now, live. Say what? Well, other people talking. Sometimes I talk right through them. Hell, I did a few today where I sung through them, so. Just being corny. You know, I called this build the Elvis build because it's the king of rock and roll. The king, breaker, and the rock and roll. So, king of rock and roll, Elvis. And it's using Heartbreaker. So, Heartbreak Hotel by Elvis. So, why would you not call the Elvis build? Right? Huh? I liked some of the stuff on there. Of course, it's too small. I told everybody before. I thought the great way to go with the storyline was Faye was deep undercover, so at least somebody somewhere was listening to me. Remember me talking about that?
I should try making leather. Can't be that hard.
Now, I know we're supposedly going to learn more and more about who the hunters are, I now heard from one of the radios that, hunters are working with or the black tusk is working with the hunters. Huh? NGN? What about NGN? Some of it is his speculation. But yeah, I know Joe. I know Joe personally. Joe was one of the content creators that helped me out when I had that guy that was trying to end my channel because he was pissed at me. And Joe was one of the ones that stood up for me. So yeah, know who Joe is. I know stuff about Joe that's not public. That he tries to keep quiet because he don't want to know people that where he lives and stuff like that.
Could probably make some shit out of old plastic bottles. Might come in handy.
They were earlier, not at 2 o'clock in the morning. There better not be. The cops should be called by then. That was June. Who didn't look well? I don't need to know what you're doing with your personal life.
Can't be that hard.
You know. No, I'm not talking about you. I know it sounded like that. I'm saying, in general, I don't need to know if a gay person's gay or a straight person's straight. Yeah, just... Now, if you're telling me if you're asking me what's right or wrong, it is wrong for me to live with my girlfriend when I did. It's wrong for me to live with another guy if we're intimate. Yeah, and that's my belief. So when they ask me, is it all right to be homosexual? I'll tell you, in the Bible it says no. But it also says it's not right to shack up with your girlfriend. And there's no difference which one's worse. There's lying, cheating, swindling, playing video games too much. That's idolatry. That's putting anything before God. When you dedicate your life to something too much. So we're all sinners. It's how much you're going to deal with it and how much. So, but all they want to do is if you're a Christian, well, you probably don't like homosexuality. No, it's an abomination. I'm not an abomination. Well,
Could use some more crafting
yeah,
materials.
it is.
I really should make
Well,
something nice.
my marriage to my husband, well, your marriage, you're using a biblical word, for one. Marriage is a biblical word. It appears in the Bible. Yeah, where do you think it appeared anywhere before then? It's a biblical concept that everyone wanted to do their way. What's that? I mean, there's no point. Talking about a mosque? Well, you are kind of in Mormon country, buddy, there in Idaho, especially southern Idaho. So, yeah, and to say that there's not enough population, no, that's not true. They'll build it, they will come. They're increasing the what?
Old plastic bottles. Might come in handy.
The what's going to increase? Taxes. Well, I remember the mills that used to cost me $6 or $7 now cost me $15, $16. I know a good steak costs you $20 to $30 now. Look at his balls. No, I have no clue. Okay.
Should really find time to clean and oil these tools. Don't want them to get rusty.
west.
You were gone for 4 days?
I really wish I had a complete set of socket wrenches. You can never find the 5/16 when you need it.
Did you truly appreciate it? Yes. I've had elven ears and funnel cakes. Yes. Sounds very delicious.
It's so good to sit down. My back is killing me. What's this? What? No, I'm about ready to fall asleep. What? I don't understand what you're saying. Uh-uh. You haven't told me much about her. It's
been a while since we talked about personal stuff. Okay. So you guys dated back then? Works out that way a lot.
Could use some more crafting materials. I really should make myself a nice place to chill.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably need to go to bed. This is a real tedious thing to do, to just grind all these gears. So yeah, I need to end my stream and call it a night. Yeah, you knew her in high school and you confessed to her that you liked her, and then obviously she must have enjoyed that you told her that. So I mean,